cordially invite Mr. Janaka Gunathilaka, Head of Academic of Sri Lankan School, Oman, to discuss about teaching learning methods to develop in 21st century skills. Over to you, sir.
Madam Tilaka Jayasundara and Mr. Janaka Kamalgoda, the organizer. Then it is a great pleasure to be here. Actually, this is a great opportunity for most of us as South Asians. However, I am representing from a different context. I would like to explain a bit about that also. Although I am Sri Lankan, I am not like most of you. I am not an employer. I am an employee of an organization. So, because for the few days experience, I realized that most of you are, that means related to early childhood education, as well as most of you are running your own institutions and all. But that means background is different. What I am actually, why I am here is to gather knowledge, share our experiences to develop our curriculum, that means our good practices in our school. Then at the beginning, Sri Lankan school Muscat is a community school located in Oman, in Muscat. It's a remote school. There are no other branches. Sri Lankan school Muscat, and run by parental community of Sri Lankan. The director board is from Sri Lankans, and 99% of the teachers are also from Sri Lanka. Only we have Urdu and Arabic teachers. They are from different countries, as we do not have those resources here. All the other academic staff is from Sri Lanka. Therefore, here then we have a problem. We have a problem because when it is come to government schools, it is governed and monitored by the government education department. If it is a school chain, it is also monitored by the organization. But here in our school, it is a remote school, and the government of Oman also, they are not, they only approve the content or whatever the thing, but they are not monitoring. Therefore, we are supposed to develop our curriculum as well as our plan for the success. Therefore, what I am going to do is, then what are the things we have implemented and what is the success we have gained. Maybe everything will not be applicable for everyone, but as I feel, all of you are at the doorstep where that you are going to start and continue your institutions to upper levels. In that case, this will be very important. Then starting with the topic, teaching learning methods to develop 21st century skills. So teaching learning methods are new methods of teaching focused on student-centered education process, where students perform more and teachers become facilitator or a guide. Where students learn by doing and practicing rather than listening, according to Brandon 2004 open quotes. Recently, innovative teaching has been viewed as a constructivist, as a student-centered process whereby students should be active learners in a supportive environment, engaging in authentic and relatable problem-solving activity learning, close quote. So that is why I think in the previous presentation was, in that also it is mentioned that teacher will be a facilitator and a guide in our education system hereafter. In my presentations, I'll be discussing about Sri Lankan school Muscat, then our academic achievements. Now, as a remote school, what we have achieved, then how we have achieved, and what are the methods what we have implemented. So those are the things basically contained and divided into subtopics here. Then introduction, psychology of learners gradually changes with the movement, advancement and the changes of the society. The methods of teaching also must be changed accordingly to approach the interest of students, otherwise the educational objectives will not be met at the end of their education. The teaching strategies should be aligned with the ideology of the society learners to reach them and convince the education is a must. Then, as I said that this is the actual building of Sri Lankan school Muscat. Then it is actually what I am trying to establish is, although we are trying to invest more on this training and development, and all, it is not because to improve the school quantitatively, because we have come to the maximum capacity of students. Here we reject number of applications per year, then but we still trying to improve the quality of education. Then so because of that we spend much annually on this training and development also. Then it is started, Sri Lankan school is an English national curriculum, the followed English national curriculum in lower grades, and upper grades EdXL curriculum for advanced level and IGCSE levels. And the classes from foundation or otherwise Montessori stages to year 13, we are conducting classes. And the head of always the head of the institution, also principal, then he also appointed from Sri Lanka. When we consider about our achievements now, last year, this is only in last year, then there are some achievements what we have obtained in international level. Then highest mark in the world in IGCSE computer science. IGCSE is related to, that means equal level of O level in some of our countries. Cambridge also, this is not Cambridge, this is, this is IGCSE, what we are doing is EdXL curriculum. Highest mark in Oman in IAL is International Advanced Level Mathematics. Highest mark in Oman, IGCSE ICT, Chemistry, Biology and Human Biology. Highest mark in Oman, Business Studies and English Literature. Highest mark in Oman, Islamic Studies. Then there is another, now see that I think our members, friends from Bhutan, that means highlighted that the medication and all those things. Here there's another special thing now. It is not, I think, not applicable for anyone else here. We do not teach any religion there. None of the religions were taught in school. The Buddhism or Islamic or whatever it is. Now this Islamic is also there, but they are private candidates who can, if anyone wants to do the exam, they can privately apply Buddhism or Islamic or Catholic or whatever it is, but not teaching any of the language, any of the religions. And when we identify our learners, then there is a diversity among these learners. Now when we consider our classrooms, there are like 15 nationalities are there. Majority of Sri Lankans are also there, because in our policies we are compelled to take Sri Lankan applicants, as we have only one Sri Lankan school there. Other seats will be given to the other nationalities. So there is a high demand for our school. Then in that case, as there are different types of different nationalities are there, automatically the classroom has a diverse learners. But it doesn't matter that there should be different nationalities to be the class diverse. Even in the same nationality, the learners are diverse. Then because of this diverse learners, they grasping the lessons are also diverse. Some learners are visual, they are fast learners, visualizing things, while some of them are learn by doing and some of them learn by listening. Ways of learning: visual, kinesthetic, oral, social, solidarity, verbal and logical. There are so many types. I am not going to touch the theoretical part of this education, but I am going to explain the implementation and how we have done it. Then we know that the Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Then according to that also, it is now we cannot expect everyone to perform in the same level, because their intelligence are different. Therefore, as a facilitator, not that means as a teacher, then what we have to cater all of this type of learners in the class, understanding that we have different types of children in our classes. Then see that having this background, what we have done is, what the management, it is not a, although as I am representing school, it is not individual effort. Now from the beginning of the school, now it has started in 1989 with 33 students, and now the school capacity is 1,200. We have reached up to that level. Then but from the beginning, the management has allocated funds for this training and development. Therefore, continuous professional development trainings were conducted. Then training sessions for teachers. And now see, as I said, that as it is not monitored by any, that means authority, we are supposed to organize our training sessions ourselves. Then we conducted the 8 days training program, then 4 in Muscat, and next year another 4 in Sri Lanka by Professor Sunitra Karunaratne. And there we have what we have done was, a theoretical part was, now see that we know that most of us even, or that means most of us even have the practice of this teacher-centered educational methods. Because of that, although we have explained all theories related to child-centered educational theories, when these things are applied in the class, it does not happen as we expect. Because of that, we need to monitor those things. Even for teachers, we need to remind it again and again. That is why this continuous professional development trainings are important. Then if it is not monitored, again they go to their comfort zone and teach using the same old methods. Then as a result of that study, then they went into the classes, and once we observed the special team from Sri Lanka, I think teacher trainers from College of Education, and team observed the classes of teachers, the implementation of those things. It also has happened. Then it is important, as we have identified as we have identified different learners, then what type of curriculum to be implemented in each level. So when we consider these different types of learners in different levels, basically what we are following is, it is now curriculum can be classified in different based on different what you call methods. Here I am referring to the way that we implement. In that case, this foundation classes, basically we use this thematic curriculum. I think Ms. also mentioned thematic curriculum. Now in the thematic curriculum, it is like more of the themes, concepts are combined together, with concepts are taught together using one theme. For example, they teach about Christmas. Then Christmas, the decorations will be done by students. Then decorations will be done by students. Then coloring, colors also will be taught in that. The shapes, then when they decorate, they need to have different shapes. So shapes also taught using those, the same theme. At the same time, the values are also taught through the same topic, as well as the skills are also developed through the same topic. Then foundation, mainly we focus this thematic curriculum, and that is why it is mentioned like a specific topic or teach to one or more concepts. That is the concept of thematic curriculum. Then strategies used in foundation classes. Now all these photos are from the school. These are not downloaded photos or anything. All the photos except diagrams, all the images are from, that means the actual images of the school. Then provide support with communication, add narrative to play, support with interactions. Then introduce and use new vocabulary, encourage children to explore and explain the ideas. Then children are given the opportunity. To express. Then teaching strategies, I am not going to explain most of them. Then in the previous presentation also it was mentioned, therefore I am not going to go into details. Then some of these things I have mentioned. Then teaching through simulating classroom environment. This classroom can be decorated and students can be instructed to dress accordingly to teach a selected topic. Then we can make a even foundation student, that means in the foundation 2 student, that means to teach. Even teacher also can act in the same way. Then sometimes the teacher can, that means a teacher can act as a maybe a movie character, or that type of things also can be done to motivate these children. Then for example, in explaining Christmas for environmental study lesson in the primary, the class teacher can be decorated appropriately and teacher can dress as Santa, like that. Then they learn things without knowing that they learn. That approach only actually that we need to focus. Teaching through flipping classrooms, that is also mentioned there. Then further, if I explain in the foundation class, then there are some color papers, then scissors, colors, those things available for children, should be available for children. Then when you are supposed to teach something, then assume that after or mathematical or whatever the lesson, then if we allow them like half an hour time, then you can do whatever you like in the classroom. Then they will do, that means through those things also they learn. Their skills will be developed. Then that is why when it comes to the other grades also, upper grades, we will not be able to use the same curriculum, thematic curriculum. Then that yields also should be understood. Now, when we explain these strategies, those things will not be or cannot be applied every day for every class and every student. That should be understood. Then teachers should select most suitable strategy to be used with the particular student or group of students. Then activity based is more mostly we have applied and we have instructed to apply and monitor also, then whether these things are happening. Actually, these are sometimes now the monitoring process happens. We have department wise WhatsApp groups also. WhatsApp, other than these official emails, department wise WhatsApp group. Once they do the experiment, then they are supposed to give some pictures of the activity in the department group. Then the department head can observe those things, and principal, deputy principal and myself, then we are also officially there in all these WhatsApp groups, so we can observe then what is happening there also. Then teaching strategies, although I am not going to explain, but some of the things are mentioned here. Now when it is come to key stage 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3 classes, that is actually the formal education from year 1 to year 9. In those classes, most of the time thematic curriculum will not be applied, because we are supposed to follow particular syllabus. Because of that, but these here student-centered teaching can be applied. Student-centered curriculum can be, methodology can be applied. Then most of the, now see that if we take some of these strategies like experimental teaching, then teaching through discussions, student-led teaching, then students are also given opportunity, teaching through collaboration, problem-based learning, project-based learning. Now this project-based learning, problem-based learning, now actually now in those things we can develop so many skills as well as attitudes of children also. Then we make them, now say that you are given this problem, as a group you need to find the solution for this. Now that can be done before the lesson or after the lesson also, before explaining the theoretical part or after explaining the theoretical part also. And when it comes to the upper levels, key stage 4 and advanced level, year 10, 11, 12, 13, those classes, then strategies will be different. That is why I mentioned that the same strategy will not be applied for foundation students and advanced level students. And the teacher-centered, otherwise activity-based, will not be always applied for advanced level also. The reason is how much or how long we discuss, still in even not only in our South Asian, although we follow this UK curriculums, they also have written papers at the end. The practical alternative paper is there. It is not to do practicals and perform in the exam, but they get a paper to write the things related to practicals. Then, however, we are supposed to give them that training. Because of that, we cannot apply all the theories what we learn at each and every level. Therefore, we are supposed to select the most appropriate teaching strategy at each level. Now, why it is important? The reason is, until 1950s, I know everyone knows the theoretical background of that. Before this Bloom's taxonomy was explained, it is mainly the cognitive development of the children were expected. That is how our educational system was structured. Then, although Bloom's explained this cognitive effective and psychomotor development, then knowledge, skills and attitudes, in simple terms, this affective and psychomotor concepts were explained in mid 80s. Still they are developing. Still they are developing. Therefore, this the background of teachers also was there when this cognitive domain was focused in the education. But when we come to the job market and all, as madam also mentioned there, then we need the skillful people. We need the people with good attitudes. Finally, it matters a lot. Other than this cognitive development. Cognitive development should be there, but without the skills, knowledge factor is not important. That is what has happened to the job market. There are people with paper qualifications, but not with skills. That is one of the major things why we should change this system, way of teaching. At the same time, there are skillful people, educated, have paper qualifications, but they do not have good attitudes. Finally, that matters. That is why in our education we are supposed to focus all these three concepts. That is what Bloom explained, and that is what we are supposed to do also. Implementation of these three. Then see that when you are try to explain this, what are the 21st century skills? Now these are the skills: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, information literacy, media literacy, technology, flexibility, leadership, innovative, productivity, social skills. These are. Then actually these are also should be developed through education. That is why the strategies should be focused to develop those things. Then group work, then discussions, the experiments, all of those things are important to improve these skills. Now, for example, in a group work, it is not only that finally presenting the paper to the teacher. Then they are supposed to discuss communication skills among them. Then they will then one of them will be acting as a leader. Then they are supposed to critically think about their project, then planning. All of those things will be developed through the activity. That is why activity-based learning, otherwise student-centered education. Now that is why we are talking more about those. Then as a school, what we have done is, now see, there is an argument also about the events or extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities in schools. Even some parents don't like to have, that means the children, they are taking part in some co-curricular activities, so they miss their lessons. Some teachers also have the same concern. Now that means we have this activity, that activity. Because of that, we get less time to cover the syllabus. That is, yeah, then both arguments are there. However, those extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities are very important to develop the skills and attitudes, to work as a team. When they do the decoration for their house or sport meet or whatever it is, that is the way now. They learn how to work with others. Their skills are developed. They need to paste, cut, whatever it is. Therefore, these extracurricular activities are very important. Now, at the same time, this cultural background, now see that their culture, the cultural events are also important in the same way to develop their skills and attitude, especially attitudes. To cover this aspect, what we are doing is we celebrate most of the not the religious not the religious activities, but all the others, the different cultural activities. Then Sinhala New Year, Thai Pongal, or Christmas. All of those events are also celebrated. Students were given, especially small class students were given that opportunity for that. In addition to that, so many extracurricular activities are also there. Then sport activities, all types of sport activities are there. And here the actual photos of our sport meet. Then in different years maybe. Then cultural events, now it is celebrating this Sinhala Hindu New Sinhala Tamil New Year, and this Christmas, or that different types of days. And leadership cultivation. Leadership cultivation is also one of the main aspects. Therefore, we now in this one, it is not that we talk all the time about discipline of children. Now, what we have done was recently we gave the prefect board, the prefects, to conduct an assembly about discipline to the whole crowd of students. Then they are only supposed to explain about discipline. Now, these are the head prefect and the head prefect girl and boy are two of them, and the other prefects also, they perform in different acts and different things, and finally they did that one. So through those things also their leadership skills will be developed, communication skills will be developed, then working as a team, those things can be addressed. Now see, based on these, these things we have actually achieved up to some extent. I am not going to tell that we are at the perfect level now, still we are. That is why I am here, to learn from you. Then that is what we have not, that means we still learning and trying to develop our system. Then we have reached this TIMS and Pearls. It is international survey, not a test actually, survey. Then we have reached over the international level in few years back, and continuous growth is also there for our satisfaction. Now started in 1989 with 23 students. Now we have 1,200 students. Then that is a maximum capacity of our. Then excellent results in examinations. Then high demand from other nationalities to the school is also there. There's some of the pictures. Then as a summary, the gap created between the educational objective and the learning outcomes can be bridged by using innovative teaching strategies. Actually, what does this Bloom's taxonomy explain? Bloom's taxonomy explain the learning objectives, educational objectives. Then educational objectives, what we expect at the end of the education. Then in that case, when we, in our teaching learning process, we are supposed to focus all these three. Students in the modern day are highly technological and intellectual. They need the confirmation that what they learn can be practiced in day-to-day life. Now sometimes they might ask, what's the use of studying this one, teacher? For example, now see, sometimes it is some students have asked, because I am teaching some of the some set of students, and my subject is chemistry. Then sometimes they ask, what's the use of chemistry, sir, in day-to-day life? In year 9, 8 or somewhere, then they can ask. Then in that point, we must be able to explain. Yeah, practical use of the practical use of the subject. Then that is why that confirmation is there. That they need the confirmation that the way that learn can be practiced in day-to-day life. In the reverse argument, educationalists have been implementing the methods to teach students using the day-to-day experiences and assuming that the students engage themselves in activities and prove themselves what they are learn is important. Okay, then finally, I said that it was governed by a board of directors. So finally I would like to thank them also that providing these opportunities not only for me, the others also. Then the current chairman, Mr. Lalinda Fernando, and the board of directors and the principal and all the board of directors as well as principals who has given their contribution to bring up the school up to this level. Thank you very much.